Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi guys, CeeChronicles here. Welcome to this channel. I post fragrance related content, guys, and would very much appreciate it if you did consider subscribing and joining the family. And to those who are already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back. I have a couple of 4 fragrance recommendations for you from the Middle East, and I have put them in 3 categories in case you guys would love to wear fragrances based on, say, a category, right? So by this I mean I have the gourmand category, and I have the spicy Middle Eastern category, and the floral category. So it's just going to depend on what you would prefer to smell like during the fall. Now, the very first recommendations, guys, are going to be from, of course, the gourmand category, because you guys love gourmands. Now, this is one fragrance that was gifted to me by the company Gulf Orchid, and I have been playing around with it for the past few days, and I can certainly say it does fall under gourmand to my nose. It is on the milky, creamy side, especially with that coconut in the forefront. But what I love about the coconut in here is it's not screaming. It's just a nice subtle coconut with a creamy wrap up. Does not feel anything like Kaid Al-Fasan for those who may be bothered by how the coconut interprets. I'm getting a coconut that is more wearable, something that my nose, keeps wanting to sniff. All right, so this one is from the Heritage Royal Collection, which is the creme de la creme of their house, Maison Azra. I have the packaging right next to me, so I was just verifying with that. So it's gonna fall in a category of those who like to smell yummy during the fall season. This one that I thought to recommend here is, of course, for those who want to smell yummy again, but in this case with a spicy twist to the scent profile. And this is not a new fragrance in my collection, Caramel Cascade from the House of Paris Corner. I'm not going to say much about it, guys. We have a review of it, we have a comparison of it together with Latafa Eclair. We have the differences and all that, but this qualified for those who want to smell yummy, vanillin, creamy, without it maybe making it about a slap in the face sort of presentation of that gourmand. I get a safe fragrance for both genders here, with that creamy accord and with that milky accord. Drawing inspiration from Bianco Latte is going to be Paris Corner's rendition as one fragrance that I recommend in this category. The third one and the last one in a category of gourmands, if you want to smell yummy during fall, is going to be Latafa's Her Confession. This is certainly a gourmand to my nose. It's milky, it's lactonic, it's creamy, it's yummy. If you love dramatic bottles, this is going to do it for you, right? Certainly a fragrance that you are going to love if you love your fragrances built on a lactonic, milky nuance, if you will. So if you don't like your fragrances with a lactonic nuance, you may want to test this, but it certainly falls under the gourmand fragrances that I wanted to recommend in this 4 fragrance recommendations video, right? So this is the third one and the last one in the category of gourmands. Remember, I did say that this video is not going to take an eternity because I've just cut it into 3 categories. The next category is going to be that of floral and spicy. So if you like to smell floral, spicy, 80% feminine vibes in the same vein as Amouage Blossom Love. So if you are one of those people that have been hunting for that fragrance, I mean, you know the price tag of Amouages, and I'm not saying Al Haramain are on the cheap side when it comes to Middle Eastern fragrances, but they're not as pricey as Amouage. And I like how they interpret that Blossom Love, guys. Suede you're gonna get in this, you're gonna get vanilla as well as some tonka. Beautifully done floral there with a sophistication and that unmistakable identifiable thing that you get in some of the Amouages is certainly in here. So definitely one to try if you love to smell of a floral during the fall season. Al Haramain's Janoon Rose. And I know just by mentioning Janoon Rose, a lot of you guys are going to talk about that as Janoon Noir. I actually wanted it, but it was, sold out on the website, and I am impressed with the quality of this Janoon to an extent that that's a no-brainer. As soon as it pops up on the website, I am adding it to my cart and still sealed. Another one in the category of florals is going to be this one from the House of Al Watania. Now, I singled this one out of the ones that I have been, purchasing of our Tanya because I haven't had that much luck when it comes to this house. I purchased a fragrance blindly, of course, because I can't sniff them in the store, and then it turns up and it's a fragrance that I haven't had an experience of, albeit of course our Tanya haven't put their weight there. So this one is different enough for me to isolate. It is that floral, so it does fall under that category of those who'd like to smell of a floral, fun, spicy fragrance. It does live up to the spiciness of what you see in here. I am not saying this is black pepper, but there is something that feels like black pepper in this, and I think that is the interpretation that we're going for. And that black pepper seems as though, feels as though it fuses with like a red pepper as well, so it's quite a sharp, piercing, spicy floral there. And the florals in here feel like jasmine, maybe mixed with some tuberose. So certainly a floral you want to check out. It's going to give you spiciness, it's going to give you woodsy as well. A fragrance that leaves a lot to the imagination. It's not one of those fragrances that the minute you spray, you're like, oh, I've been there, done that, wore the t-shirt. So it's different enough for you to maybe try to add to your collection if you don't have it. And this is not sponsored. I purchased this with my own money. But out of the Alba Tanyas, I thought to recommend this one, Amnia, as one of those florals you may want to smell off during fall. Now, the last one under the category of florals with a sweet undertone is going to be this one, Angham. And this is not new to a lot of you guys. This bottle, you've seen it before, but it's new to my collection, right? And this one vibes in the same vein as Burberry Goddess, but now it's giving me something that is like a lemony accord. It's kind of giving me like a citrusy thing rising to the surface there. Also carries the vanilla, but it's not as sweet as Athena, for those who want to know the difference, but does live up to that floral, vibe, floral expectation. If there is a lavender in here, it's not as piercing, but it's there. So you can tell that there is an aromaticness there, slight aromaticness there, but it's, it's presented as smooth and a subtle floral that doesn't push it to green, and a subtle vanilla there that just gives you enough sweetness. And that is the wrap up of this. So I thought to add it, to this list for those who want a floral fragrance, okay, with a vanilla undertone or vanilla wrap up to it. Angham from the House of Lattafa. The last category is going to be that of spicy. There's going to be elements of spiciness in these three fragrances that I give you, but two of them are going to be Middle Eastern toned. The first one, of course, being Opulent Red. This is making a first appearance on this channel as a physical bottle, but I've spoken about this fragrance for a very, very long time, and it's one fragrance I thought to just, give some shine, because there's some Lattafas there that were really beautifully done, but because Lattafa keeps giving them to us, giving fragrances to us, sometimes we lose appreciation of the oldies. Opulent Red is not going to be easy on the nose. So in as much as it's got a fruity thing that it comes to the surface there is an unmistakable Middle Eastern twist to this fruitiness, okay? It has gone around as smelling like Rouge Malachite, but now that I do have a physical bottle in my collection, I'm going to say it's not exactly 100, if at all. There is traces of that Rouge Malachite there. It's maybe just a touch off, but what then becomes the star of the show here is an oud, something in here that gives me like a rubbery accord, something that I get in Nuit de Feu from Louis Vuitton, but without the aggression of that one. So it's kind of like midpoint there, but very spicy, even I don't want to call it aromatic, but very spicy. And the spices in here are quite rich, but not as rich as spices that I would qualify under like the cinnamons and stuff. It doesn't have the richness of that, but there is an unmistakable spice in this. So yes, you've got to love Middle Eastern twist, or you've got to love a Middle Eastern toned fragrance for you to appreciate that. This one, there is a fruitiness there, floralness in this, but yes, beautiful twist there, spicy, woody type of fragrance. Second from the last is going to be from Gulf Orchid, and Gulf Orchid is a house that I'm currently experimenting with, and I was privileged to be gifted these fragrances. Now this one is Sweet Heaven Extreme. They gifted me Sweet Heaven Extreme as well as Sweet Heaven, and I was thinking to myself, what is the differences between these fragrances? First of all, I get reminded of the Kilian bottle by looking at this, but this one is a little bit taller, and it says extreme, and I'm trying to think, okay, to what extent is what doing what in here? Now that I've had it in my collection for a little bit, it kind of feels like a fusion of that Kilian's apple brandy together with Kilian's Angel Shea. There is a prominent apple in here, and less of a boozy tone in this that I get from both fragrances, which is the Kilian's apple brandy as well as the Angel Shea. So this It's not giving me outright Angel's Share. Don't avoid this one thinking it's going to be at par with Angel's Share. If anything, maybe I will bring the two of them and see if the Sweet Heaven is the one that is at par, because this gives me like a twist. Okay, kind of gives me, yes, an unmistakable apple I get in there. Okay, and I do get the spices in here. I do get dried fruits in here. I do get a little bit of some cinnamon in here, but there is a light-weightedness to this fragrance to an extent that for me to say go buy this, if you're looking for Angel's Share, you might come and punch me in the face. So Sweet Heaven Extreme, okay, is on this lineup as a recommendation for those who want spicy, woody. This one does not give me an oud, but it's spicy and it's woody and it's unique. All right, now the very last one on this lineup is going to be Cosmopolitan Dubai from the EMEA collection of Paris Corner. I intended to bring you the three of them at the same time as a review, but I haven't because I was gifted two and I'm waiting for the third one and it's coming in the mail, so I don't want to spoil the surprise. I want to bring all of them. Now, this one is the Dubai. The other one I have is Cosmopolitan London, and we have established that London smells a lot like Guerlain's Curry Intense. Now, this one gives me a Middle Eastern toned fragrance. Has gone around as smelling like an oud. But on its own, it is Middle Eastern toned. It does give me a waxy type of fragrance. There's something that feels like honey in there. But the oud interprets almost similar to this, though a little bit shy. Okay, though a little bit shy. So there's going to be an Middle Eastern twist in this. Woods, as well as those spices. If you love that style of fragrance, you're going to love that. And I thought to just drop it here as another recommendation for the fall season. So that's it, guys. Those are fragrances that I thought to just, give to you there in case you want to experiment with some of the fragrances here. Some of them are new in my collection and I also am working with them, so I will bring in-depth reviews and tell you whether these fragrances transform and become something different. But for now, I put them here because they give me a certain vibe that qualifies them as either gourmand, spicy, or floral, and I thought to drop them there for you to make your decision as to which one you want to try. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we discuss more about fragrances. Remember to turn on post notifications. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.